So we got a comment. Got a good comment from our good friend of the channel, Dusk Mirage. And they say this is the only kind of content that's good on the channel. So let's be honest, why would we do anything else? Welcome back to an Undead Legion thing. Update? It's kind of an update. It's a little bit of a channel update too. Because over the weekend I went and I collected all of my childhood Lego that I could, 90% of my childhood Lego from storage, and brought it here to my home, and now it's here. It's here in my home. So I did have to take apart a lot of the sets that I had stored built, but it's much more compact now, and I think that's a good thing in the grand scheme of things. So future update video, we'll be looking at some of that stuff before too long, and also maybe a sad clocky hour about how depressing it is taking apart your childhood Lego. Anyways, Undead Legion time. Let's start out with a good big one. Ta-da! It is the Ghost Dragon Polybag. He's a strong ghost dragon. He's got the bone tail thing. I definitely think this belongs in the Undead Legion. I am missing a katana. I lost one of the katanas in packing, traveling, who knows. So I do have a couple of those running around in that spring green mint color. Don't know the official name of that one. Comment if you know that color. But I think he's very cool looking when you put him down, kind of like a bat standing on the wings. Something like this looks very imposing against a minifigure. So let's just grab one of these minifigures here. Skeleton, obviously. And just, he's huge compared to them, and he would definitely be a good challenge for a minifigure to fight. So first up for minifigures then, though, is this floppy arm one. He's kind of got stiffer floppy arms, honestly. But he's in very nice condition, very well printed, and just basic, foot soldier. We need to get him some weapons, maybe some armor. We'll find out later, won't we? Next up, let's do all the floppy arm ones. I think there are only 2 of them here in this update. This one's a hatchet. This one's definitely one of my older ones. He's got a face that's a little bit gnarled up from play, and he's actually got like a printing error on the nose. It looks like there's some extra ink there going towards the right side of the screen. So this side. And he's definitely got more. Both of these ones are a little bit yellow. Let's compare them to a pristine white minifigure, and they're definitely got some yellow going on to them. So, I think that's appropriate for the Undead Legion, right? Let's go into some big ones. These are kind of exciting big figures because they're mounted. I've got 2 more mounted to add. So this one is the Fantasy Castle Undead with the glowing red eyes. I think that's a fun one to have a little bit more agency. He's on a horse, an undead horse. He's got his cracked skull shield, the buckler, and then the bone sword. I like this one a lot because it's got the clip on the back, but I feel like the way the handle's molded, it looks like a bone that was added sword. You put a big piece of metal on the front of the bone. Really cool. So next up is also an awakened. He's got the red eyes, but he's just got a minifigure body. He's got a little bit of modifications to his mount, a little bit of a helmet going on there. We'll see how I keep that. I liked it when I was younger, and it's not bad. It's just it's not the strongest it could be, maybe. He's also got the Technic ski pole with the barbarian sword on it, the big gnarled up one, but I think that's a fun... having a little friendly fire there. Not necessarily a jousting type weapon, but just a big cleaving weapon from horseback. Just going fast, going crazy. So then I've got a couple heavier ones. And we've also got some castle figures here to update John. But this one here is a personal favorite of mine. He's definitely... he's fun. He's real fun because he's got a glow-in-the-dark head. So hit him with the UV and you can see him glowing in green. But it fades pretty quickly in the light. But watch as we pull this off. Ta-da! Yeah, so it's it's just a classic skull. So he's heavier, but not really as tactical as awakened ones or whatever, or heavily awakened, whatever you want to call it. But he's got the buckler with the fractured skull, which is nice for unifying the army. Speaking of some awakened ones, we got 2 more awakened, it looks like. I call them awakened. They're all awakened, right, if they're undead. But this one's, I think he's the only ranger right now. I think I got rid of all my other ranged units in the Undead Legion because I think that's really strong for Undead to have range, but he would have it possibly with a little bit more mindfulness of the glowing red eyes. He's also got this speckled dark helmet, whatever you want to call that. I didn't mention it, but he's wearing speckled breastplate. I love my speckled armors. Those are peak Lego Castle, Lego Fantasy, tabletop RPG, D&D, whatever you want to call it. So let's do this last Awaken one. And this one's one of the coolest ones I have. And I will be honest with you, worst weapon. So he's the Black Red Eyes, the Red Eyes Black skeleton. And he does have the mechanical arms. If I had the updated style arms in black, I would definitely give those to him. Again, the buckler, and he's got the posed mace. It's flail Morningstar, whatever you want to call it. It's the worst fantasy weapon. It's in pearl gold, but you have to it just doesn't look realistic. Like his arm is perfectly straight out, first of all, and then he's coming to get you. It's a only one pose kind of weapon. I definitely want to give him probably just a mace. I want to give him some kind of updated version of that, something better, because that's the worst castle weapon that Lego has. And I don't think they're still using it, though, luckily. Could be wrong. So then we have two more skeletons to add in. This one is a mechanical arm, straight arms, but he's got the evil skeleton face, the Alpha Team kind of face. They did use it in Castle as well, but he's also got a hatchet, just a simple weapon, a little bit more together, I'd say, than the blank faces. And then speaking of blank faces, we have one more blank face, but he's got the dragon helm on, which I think gives him a little bit of character. And then he's got a big brick-built combination spear, very big tip, heavy end there, and then a shaft to hold. I think that's a fine addition to the Undead Legion. They need to get trained up a little bit, apparently. But so then let's talk about some tertiary stuff to the Undead Legion. Well, first of all, I found another orc. I love that orc, the fantasy castle orc. He's got his insignia on the... Is it copper or gold? It's hard to tell. He's got the big fancy polearm, which is definitely a nice weapon. And then the, again, speckled heavy helmet. I like that for the orcs, as the orcs' heads get a lot of protection, but their bodies might not get as much, because they don't seem to have... they don't usually get, armor and stuff, which is regrettable, maybe, but it's fine. Let's keep going. Oh, I found this. It is the Fractured Skull Insignia Ribcage, metal ribcage, heavy armor, chestplate. Very, very strong one. If you don't have one of those, you need to get one. They're great. These were Knights Kingdom 2 baddies. They're the same guy, but one of them has lost their helmet. I wonder where that speckled helmet could have gone. But they look like they're very naked because they were from a yellow house. I believe the dragon, which I actually have, but he had an orange color on his shield. Anyways, he's got the Knight's hero shield, sword, which is nice, and he's got his special insignia of the dragon. This is one of the best shields. It's the hexagonal, I'd say octagonal shield, and that dragon is a fantastic pattern. It does have the sideways bar, and then because of that, they put a little notch out of it so you can put a bar through there so you could use it as a banner or whatever. And he's got sand blue arms and legs, very cool coloring. His face is pretty generic, but it's fine. And he's got a silver speckled helmet as well. Now this next one is the snake, and he's got the kite shield, very strong, but he's got copper here, so he also has a copper matching speckled helmet. It's hard to tell, but it's definitely a different color than the silver speckle, which I think is a really fun variation. Again, sand blue arms and legs, and he's got the constructed gear mace, which I think is a very fine weapon. So we'll use him for something, I'm sure. This one, this is definitely a Dark Knight outfit. He's got the Dark Knight helmet, and he's got the same chest piece as this man here. He's got a blank kite shield and a classic sword in the, I think it's classic dark gray. So that's interesting, but he's got like the Raskus head. Don't know. He's definitely with the evil guys. And then that's like all the like classicer ones, but I do have this Necromancer mage type figure. He didn't do so great in storage. His cape is definitely needs pressed, but he's got the flame patterns everywhere. He's got a skull on his torso here, so I definitely think he could be a necromancer of some sort, but he definitely has a lot of fire theming going on, so I think a lot of people refer to him as a fire wizard, but evil wizard, whatever you want to be. And then I have this custom rogue. He's got a skull on his shirt and some potions and another skull there. His arms are that double printed with the stripes. Is it the most castle? We can decide later. And then I have two more of the skull cultists, skeleton cultist minifigures. One's got the sword and one's got a entrails bucket, but they're just the regular old ones. But I have several of these now to amass into human cultists to gather more skeletons for the skull throne or whatnot. So that's this little update video. Very fun, just kind of going through some of these figures that I've already owned. It's not really a haul. It's not really the whole collection. Before too long, I will be doing an updated, the entire Undead Legion, but these are the newest additions to it. So comment some stuff. Thank you very much. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Automatic video over here. Somewhere in the middle there is a subscribe button, and then over on the dragon is a video that I will handpick for you, specifically you, yes you, Richard. Wouldn't it be crazy if I just guessed someone's name though?